welcome to another video, A Walk with Phil, and I'm in West Bromwich. What I thought to do today is to take you along some of the back streets that are leading off the upper part of the high street in West Bromwich. They're a little bit forgotten, aren't they, this top end of the town? And so I thought we're going to have a look around those roads. In particular, I want to show you a couple of plaques that were dedicated to a world famous movie actress by the name of Madeleine Carroll. One of the most famous people to have ever been born here in the town. And yeah, and also I'm going to show you where the world famous, everything's world famous in West Bromwich, isn't it? Sweet factory, sweet confectionery factory that used to be down Tyne Street. Yeah, so we're going to have a look at that as well. So yep, yeah, well, it's not a sweet factory anymore, but the building still exists. So yeah, we're going to have a look. So let's go. And yeah, let's go and check them out. So where I'm going to start is in Herbert Street. And Herbert Street is here on the corner of a few roads. I've done videos of this particular one called Overend Street, just down here, where the famous Dart Spring used to stand. Just ahead of me used to be a ring road that would encircle the Queen Square and the King Square shopping centres. Pitt Street used to be over there, and to my left I did a video just down here of Bull Street, and up there is Walsall Street, what's left of it, that leads onto Reform Street, and that Lego type structure ahead of me is Primark as part of the New Square shopping centre. So let's go and have a look at Herbert Street. I did Herbert Street many months ago, and I thought it was about time I did a bit of a revisit to this area. There's a lot of residential properties around these back streets, and it's interesting just to contrast these roads with a lot of the more modern properties that you find in and around West Bromwich, because these streets are some of the oldest streets still in existence in the town. Many of them are built around about what, the 1870s, 1880s, you know, that sort of period. And you can see here this was a tree-lined street that has car parking on either side of the road. I think it's a one-way system. You got piles of leaves here. The trees look a little odd. I think they may have been lopped over the years, but just show you here now at number 44 Herbert Street. We've got a blue plaque here, which I can show you. It says that it's Madeleine Carroll, actress and humanitarian, was born here in 44 Herbert Street on the 22nd of February 1906, and she died in Spain in 1987. He goes on to tell you a bit more interesting information about her. I'll leave you to zoom in and you can read a bit more about the world famous actress. She was once considered the most beautiful woman in the world, and probably one of the highest paid actresses in during her time, especially when she was making the 39 Steps film, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Her parents were Helen and John Carroll. Madeleine's father, John, was also the headmaster at the local grammar school in the town. And Madeleine also had a sister, and they would play here at the top of Herbert Street, where you can see the entrance to Dartmouth Park with a lodge there on the corner. But this is all changed now, because of course the Trinity Way was built right through it and cut this part of Dartmouth Park off from from the other part over the yonder. But this is St Philip's Church. St Philip's Church is, I've been told that it's no longer used at the moment because there's been issues with the roof, leaking roof. Yeah, it needs a new roof. It's a listed building as well, but I've been told it's not being used, which would be a shame, obviously. There's the Beaches Road School just down there as well. All these parts of Beaches Road you can see is sealed off at the bottom now, but this used to continue down to Gregory Street, and then there'd be Cooper's Hill Road, and well, there was lots of different, it was all a lot different down there now, but this is Beaches Road. I did a video of Beaches Road not so long back, featuring all its old fine houses, so check that one out if you go to the home page. This was the area around Birmingham Road and Beaches Road where people aspired to live. All the well-to-do would want to come and live here and around here. Sadly, it ain't a patch on what it once was. A lot of the properties actually have been demolished, but you can still see many fine 3-storey houses along here to give you some idea as to what it used to be like. We've still got a Porsche on the drive. Look, just here. This looks like Tony's Porsche. So just down here we've got a road called Leg Street. Somebody's took the L off and made it Egg Street. But we'll have a look down Leg Street. Another road lined with terrace properties. Again, you'll notice it's a very old area of West Bromwich. Just down there you'll find Overend Street down at the bottom. Okay, so we'll go down here, Poplar Avenue. Now Poplar Avenue is not one of these very old terrace type roads. It does more lend itself to more newer properties such as the 1910s, 20s, 30s. The council were building lots of council properties around the 20s and the 30s. I look at these and I say, oh yeah, these could be 30s, but it could be they do look far newer, don't they? Look like more 60s actually. So I'm going to walk up here now. I'm not going to shoot, not too sure if I get out of Poplar Grove, but never been up here. And if you haven't been up here yourselves, you have now. I think this little bit of road here will take us onto Nickel Street, I think. Got some very old double garages just here on my left. Look like stables, don't they? I want you to go down that little passageway. Sealed off on both ends with a couple of concrete blocks. Trinity Way was opened in 1973 and it ensured that it decimated whole rows of terraced houses. Yeah, okay, so we've just come out of Poplar Avenue and then we're on Nickel Street. Nickel Street would join Beaches Road there just at the top. As you can see, it's sealed off, but Nickel Street does veer to the left and joins what was left of Beaches Road. And what I'm going to do is just take a walk over the bridge and we'll go over to the other side of Beaches Road. There's the bottom of Nickel Street. That joins you onto Upper High Street. Right, let's go over the bridge. Okay, let's give you a bird's eye view of Nickel Street from this extraordinarily high vantage point of this flyover that goes over Trinity Way. Nicholl Street, named after an architect, a local West Bromwich architect, George Nichols, who laid out the plans for the construction of Beaches Road. So he was responsible for the creation of that road. Well, its design anyway. Beaches Road was laid out around 1867, and there was lots of house building on that road, which was completed around about 1885. Okay then, so I've made it over the flyover bridge that joins Nicholl Street to this other part of Beaches Road now, and sadly, of course, Beaches Road has got no character or soul any longer. What with the building of that Trinity Way behind me, but also, of course, the whole area seems to have changed. A lot of the old large houses have gone, and a lot of the trees as well that used to be down Beaches Road have all gone. There's the odd one or two few I can see ahead of me, but it ain't the same, is it? So what we've got here now, we've got, I think we might have Thynne Street just there on my right. We'll have a look down Thynne Street. Yeah, we go down there. The street sign's pretty poor, look. It's all faded, needs to be touched up, that one. We've still got a street name there on the corner of this house. But just looking over here, with this patch of land, I'm just presuming, of course, that this is all going to be properties, apartments. I'm not sure if we can get a view through here. Have a look. Yeah, you can see it's all being laid out now. Foundation footings are being dug out. Used to be the site of the old Oakdale Club. It used to be the West Bromwich Corporation Club, I understand. Went a long time ago. Yeah, so that was the Oakdale Club just there. There's also a famous author that used to live along here, but I got his name. I'll put his name up on the screen. And also there was a guy called Thomas Withers. He had a safe company, and he lived nearby here somewhere. May have been number 13 of Beaches Road. But his house was called Bombay House. And also, interestingly, which I have mentioned when I did the Beaches Road video, that I'm standing on the exact spot now where we are at our highest point in West Bromwich. We are now currently 568 feet above sea level here in West Bromwich. So this is the official highest point in West Bromwich town, here in on the corner of Thynne Street and Beaches Road. Okay, so let's leave Beaches Road behind now. Let's have a walk down Thynne Street and see what we got down here. Thynne Street, of course, is another one of those very old streets. It used to have its own cricket ground there. Look, you can see the cricket stumps are still there on the wall. And look, the Thynne Street Cricket Club. Yeah. Some people do take me seriously, you know. Most of the properties around, at least a lot of these properties had some small yards at the front of the houses. 1870s, 1880s, you'd find they didn't even have any of that. It used to be a front door straight onto the pavement. But they've all got, because of that, they've got all these wheelie bins that are scattered along the pavements. And Sandwell Council are proposing us to have yet another bin for next April, where we will have solely one for paper and cardboard, and the other one for all other recyclables. And then you got your garden bin, and you got your normal household bin, and you've got, do they still have that small bin for slops, food slops. All needs a bit of paint, doesn't it? Just there. You saw a lot of that back in the 80s, didn't you? This fake concrete on the front of their houses. Cladding. Do you know, of all the years that I've been living in West Bromwich, I never even once saw this building as a sweet factory, but that's what it was. It was a sweet factory called Sela. They made confectionery, mainly cough sweet lozenges, and it was created by, I think, Alfred and Elizabeth Roberts, and they started in a small shop in Herbert Street in West Bromwich before the son decided to open a business called Beech's Confectionery in Spond Lane, so called because there was a beech tree outside the building. And then in 1920s, I think they moved here. 1925, they moved here in Thynne Street, and they moved into an old Mitchells and Butler's warehouse, a beer warehouse. And of course, Sela, we spell it backwards, is ales, and they were famous for making cough sweet lozenges. They closed, liquidated in the 2000s, and then moved the business to Newport in South Wales. But now you can see it's all flats now. But there's still some sculpted work just at the top there by the cross. I'm not sure if that gives you any clue as to what this building used to be, but it's Sela House now. As you can see, it's all apartments. So there you go. These look fairly new as well here, just on the corner. Behind some pub called the Great Lion. Just here on the corner now we've got Sagar Restaurant and Sweet Centre. But that place, I think it used to be like a kind of an off licence many years ago. It's got jars and sweets in there. You know, we're on the Upper High Street. Yeah, I've done plenty of videos around here, but look at these houses here on the left. Some of them are 3-storey, but they're all fine, big properties. Of course, now they're largely converted to flats now, but again, as I've said earlier, these are all the sorts of houses that the well-to-do would aspire to get in. And all around here, right up there towards Birmingham Road, this area was the gateway to West Bromwich. So it was always had to look its best, as the main tramway would run along the High Street, all along the Holyhead Road, past the Albion Ground. But yeah, it was a gateway, and people would come into town and see all these fantastic houses. We can still see many of them just down there ahead of me on the right. Okay, so let's go and have a look up Hope Street. Hope Street again is one of those old streets of West Brom, as the upper part of the High Street tends to be. A lot of roads. I did Florence Road and around that area not so long back, but there are some rather swanky new properties around that part now, but not so much here with the new properties. There's one or two new swanky apartments built along Beech's Road. You can see a lot. Look at these fine old terrace properties to my left here, with some existing pillars on the original walling. And you can imagine a lot of the properties would have some fine pillar work leading to their front doors. You can still see it. Look, there's still some here and there. You can see at one time this was may have been terrace, may have been some spare land, but you got a new house in between these. We've got a couple of trees planted along here in Herbert Street. There's one or two. Not as many as say Herbert Street has got. I didn't notice any trees down Tyne Street. Still some with the original brickwork. You've got a newer house here as well, just at the end. Let me just show you down Herbert Street, look. We're coming back onto Beaches Road now. We've reached the end of Herbert Street and now we're back onto Beaches Road. And now we've got Jesson Street, which we'll go and have a look down now. I should just show you this large nursing home. Let's go down Jesson Street. Again, Jesson Street sign needs retouching. And we've got an original Jesson Street sign just here, look, on the wall. I like to point them out because those tend to be put up when the actual roads were built. See all this cladding here? And this one? In different colours. Now these are again an old part of West Bromwich, is Jesson Street, and you can see on the left here we've got some newer sorts of houses. But we're focusing our attention along Jesson Street because I just want to show you something down here, which I'm not sure which side I'm looking at now. Is it the right or the left? What I want to show you. There's got a few trees as well along here, and this road actually seems a little wider than the others. Like it's wider than Tyne Street. Yeah, there's quite a few houses here with this cladding along here, and some more just down there on my right. This is what I wanted to show you because it was here in 1925 that the Carrolls moved from their house in Herbert Street to this one, number 7 Jesson Street. And it was in 1925, and again it's the plaque, the blue plaque above the wall. You'll have to zoom in to read what it says, but I think it says the same thing as the previous one, except that it says that Madeline Carroll, actress and humanitarian, moved here to number 7 Jesson Street, West Bromwich, with her parents John and Helen Carroll. Can't really read that up there, so if you want to zoom in. But her parents, Helen and John Carroll, they moved from there in 1939 after John Carroll, who was the headmaster of the grammar school, retired in 1937. And as I said, in 1939 they moved to Kent, Bromley in Kent. Yeah, you used to see a lot of that, didn't you, with that letters or numbers written on your wall. Looks a bit scruffy, doesn't it? Because once you painted that on, you can't get it off really. You have to put a plaque over it with a number instead. Okay then folks, so what I specifically wanted to do as I walked around here was just show you the blue plaques of Madeline Carroll, which of course she is probably one of the most famous people that were born here in the town, and she was a very famous movie actress. And the other thing, well, and also a great humanitarian, because when her sister was killed in the Blitz in London in 1940, she decided to be a humanitarian by joining the Red Cross, and she won many awards for her work, for her selfless work, before she died in Spain in 1987. But the other important thing I wanted to show you is also the Sela works, where they made world famous, I think they were, cough sweets. Sweets that didn't taste like medicine when you tasted them, but rather they tasted like a sweet, which made them so popular. But the company, as I mentioned, did go bust, or was liquidated in the 2000s, and they moved production to Newport in South Wales. I think they still make them. I'm not sure if there's any family connection to Sela Confectionery any longer, but maybe worth visiting the website to find out. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. We'll wrap it up now then. So if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.